The T-26 tank, later designated as the M26 Pershing, was a pivotal development in American armored warfare during the latter stages of World War II and into the early Cold War. Designed to overcome the shortcomings of the M4 Sherman, the T-26 represented a significant leap forward in terms of firepower, armor, and mobility. It marked the U.S. Army's transition from medium tanks to a more modern, heavily armed and armored vehicle capable of engaging German heavy tanks on equal terms. Development of the T-26 began in the early 1940s when the U.S. military recognized the need for a more powerful tank capable of countering the German Panther and Tiger tanks. The Sherman, although reliable and numerous, lacked the armor and firepower necessary to deal with these formidable opponents. Work on the T-20 series of prototype tanks laid the foundation for what would eventually become the T-26. Among the various experimental designs tested, the T-26E1 was selected for further refinement. It featured a 90mm gun, significantly more powerful than the 75mm and 76mm guns used by the Sherman, along with thicker frontal armor and improved suspension. The T-26E3 variant, which would be officially standardized as the M26 Pershing, entered combat in Europe in early 1945. It saw limited action in the final months of World War II, but its performance was closely watched. In engagements such as the Battle of Remagen, the M26 proved capable of taking on German tanks like the Panther and Tiger I with a much better chance of success than the Sherman. Though it was introduced too late to have a decisive impact on the outcome of the war, the M26's arrival signaled a major advancement in U.S. tank design. The T-26 tank's design incorporated several features that reflected a shift in American armored doctrine. The 90mm M3 gun gave it the firepower needed to destroy heavily armored targets at range, while the torsion bar suspension and wide tracks improved its cross-country performance compared to earlier designs. The tank also offered better crew protection with a more heavily armored hull and turret, and it had a more compact, efficient layout for its crew of 5. These design improvements meant that the T-26 could not only survive on the battlefield longer but also deliver more effective combat performance. Following the war, the M26 Pershing continued to serve with U.S. forces and was deployed during the Korean War. In Korea, it again demonstrated its capability in tank-on-tank combat, especially during the early stages of the war when it faced off against Soviet-built T-34-85s used by North Korean forces. The M26's powerful gun and armor gave it a significant edge, although logistical challenges and terrain issues sometimes limited its operational effectiveness. Despite its strengths, the T-26 M26 had some limitations. Its engine was underpowered for the vehicle's weight, leading to sluggish performance and mechanical issues, particularly in rough terrain. These drawbacks would eventually lead to its evolution into the M46 Patton, which featured an improved powertrain and became the foundation of the post-war U.S. tank fleet. In retrospect, the T-26 program was a critical step in bridging the gap between World War II-era medium tanks and the main battle tanks of the Cold War. While its late entry limited its battlefield role during World War II, its design principles and combat performance laid the groundwork for future American tanks. The T-26 was more than just a response to German armor, it was a symbol of the U.S. Army's growing understanding of armored warfare and the necessity of technological superiority on the modern battlefield.